Hello and welcome. This is Renatus. I've gone by Ren, but right now I've changed my name to Renatus, which means rebirth, and I'm in the process of rebirthing. I've been reading tarot all of my life, and I just felt inclined on the 17th of March to do a little spread. And I hope everyone's having a lovely day, feeling regenerated, renewed. It's definitely a windy day out there. I am feeling very of the Oya senses, the Orisha Oya, which is wind. I'm feeling her very much. I cleaned my home. I'm looking at the pictures of my grandmother and my grandfather, and I'm just wanting to kind of pull the cards out, get some clarity. Yeah, I've been in the process of rebranding myself, getting a new website, doing a lot in a short amount of time. I can't believe it's already mid-March, and it's like just the year feels like 2021 feels like it's definitely flowing and going. So with that being said, I'm going to pull some cards and kind of do a general reading on the vibe of what we're going through, what we've overcome, and the patterns that we're wanting to let go of. So in the past, Ace of Swords, King of Wands, and the Six of Pentacles. So making sure that we are rooted within ourselves, within this air element, all of this new bright energy that's being brought into our lives, that we're really able to see it and understand it and acclimate it into our lives. I know that I've had the great lesson just within the past couple of months of really being able to feel more in my body. And with that feeling and acclimating into really feeling, I've noticed I'm letting a lot of things go, and still I'm letting go of relationships that are unhealthy, patterns that are unhealthy. I'm really realizing the more that I work, the more that I really need to stay attuned and be aware of the things that I'm ingesting, and more than ingesting, harboring in myself, like negative self-talk. I've noticed a lot of the people I attract, depending on if I'm caught up in cycles of negative self-talk, those people will come up in my life and they will be a reflection of that negative self-talk. The King of Wands is all about, distribution of power. And also the Six of Pentacles is making sure that you're not begging for crumbs, that you're really acclimating into who you are, what you want, and not really standing for being neglected anymore or begging. Some Sprite. I feel like I just listened to this podcast this morning about the news about minimum wage being increased, and how we've really had a battle, a socioeconomic battle, about being able to make sure that everyone's taken care of. And I can't believe we're still fighting over $15 an hour, and that's even a question, and that it's 2021 and the minimum wage hasn't been looked at since the Reagan era. It's been, I think, 2009 since it was looked at. And it's just really that I feel like the Six of Pentacles is really showing that, of making sure that you're being taken care of, that your financial life is being seen and heard, and you're talking to people about what you're wanting, and it's not just money. I have a lot of dear friends that I am so inspired by, but also it's exhausting to always think about the next, the new. And our greatest gift is to say yes to our abilities to transform and not always be led by the dollar. So presently, the Hangman, the Ten of Swords, and then the Ten of Cups. So Ten of Swords, Ten of Cups are the exact opposite. The Ten of Cups is all about the rainbow at the end of a struggle. So I feel like presently there's a lot of mystery around sabotage and around neglect and around how we're being fed. And the hangman is a card of possibility. Honestly, it shows that there could be also rainbow at the end of the tunnel, light at the end of the tunnel, fortune, family, connecting. But I'm also seeing in the future the Hermit, the Three of Wands, and then the Four of Cups. So making sure that we're going within and we're doing the work while we feel we're in suspension. I have noticed more and more just feelings of like within my work, feeling really motivated, but also feeling like, oh my God, I need a vacation. I need to get out of here. Kind of feeling like in suspense. So knowing like with the Hermit, the Three of Wands is definitely about like broadening your horizons, and the Four of Cups is making sure that you're not saying no, that you're saying yes, and you're keeping open. Even if you're wanting to say no, making it a maybe or making it a possibility. I think people are really stuck right now, specifically with the COVID, with the pandemic, and this is right, this is wrong. And judging other people too. And there's this big need to broadcast what health is and what success is, and what, you know, in this time of transition, we really need to be careful and take care of ourselves and our neighbors and not judge someone. I feel like there's a lot of judgment going on, specifically with the Ten of Swords, of just being like, oh, well, you're not doing it right, or that's not right. When in regards to what the future of this pandemic looks like, and as more people get vaccinated, what that looks like, and being able to have a healthy conversation about it and not judging someone for different life choices. And I think I was kind of wary about this. I was listening to also the news. I listened to just a little bit of it, blurbs. But they were talking about how Israel has all been almost vaccinated. And now there's this app out where you can see who's vaccinated and who's not. And they're allowing only people to eat at restaurants and do all of these things if they've been, you know, had their 2 doses, had their 2 vaccines. And I'm wondering too, as far as, you know, in the westernized states, like in the States here specifically, how we're treating one another. And like, I know that a lot of people that have like chronic illness and that are immunocompromised, I totally get it. And I am totally wholeheartedly being as responsible as I can, but we're all human beings. And you know, this has also kind of been on my mind. I've been touching and having to massage during this whole pandemic, touching bodies, really being at the forefront of all of this. And there's been a lot of healthcare workers and people that have had to go out there in the world, and it's not good or bad, it just is. And I feel like people really need to be a little more compassionate around people's choices around the pandemic too. I've been feeling a little bit of that energy because we all want to celebrate. We all want to be in our wealth and prosperity right now, in our health, and be with our families and our friends and our loved ones and touch them and hug them. And it's just been a long time coming, and it's more than a year now. And so it's really saying, you know, to me, how as a society we are lacking the understanding of like, if someone chooses to hug you consensually, or someone is hugging someone else, like, don't judge it. Don't judge touch so much. I feel like people really get freaked out when it's between 2 consensual adults, and it's, you know, we shouldn't be afraid of hugging one another in a sense. I get it. But at the same time, it shows how we are kind of, you know, reversing time and reverting back to fear. So, you know, my thoughts on fear is always like, you know, the one that kind of comes in before other emotions. I feel like fear and anger and all of that come in before people can feel sadness and hopelessness and the deeper feelings behind it. Fear is just like a catalyst for other emotions to make themselves known. And, you know, just how we need to have patience with one another, and, you know, just going into more of like this hermit feeling of like being a light in the darkness, being able to stand alone, but not forever. Being alone is a wonderful tool to help you grow, to help people grow. It's really hard to know yourself if you're never alone. And I have spent a lot of my time alone being a healer, doing the work, and now it's like, okay, we're stepping out onto a new horizon. I can see the clouds and the rainbow after the storm, and we're all still in this like lack consciousness. So in order to get out of the lack consciousness, we need to say yes to our intellect. We need to take action and stop begging for other people to come on board. It's either people are going to say yes to your path and your mission, or they're going to say no and they're not going to get in the boat with you. Say yes to the people that get in the boat with you, that trust you, that love the process of you being you. No more trying to convince people. I'm done with that. I feel like people that I've had, and presently I've had a couple of energies where I'm constantly having to convince them of who I am and what I do. No more of that. I exist, I am here, and I welcome people to understand the mystery of who we all are. We all have so much mystery within us, and if anyone's like trying to knock you or be like, who is it and what is it and all of the logistics of who you are, be wary of them because they don't know themselves. People that ask too many questions often aren't asking themselves the questions. So anyway, too, I feel like I'm gonna pull a couple more cards just on the Ten of Cups because I freaking love this card. So the Queen of Pentacles and the Page of Swords. Queen of Pentacles is all about Earth Mother magic, and Page of Swords is about kind of being a student of life. So in order to gain the rainbow, we have to be curious about life, and we have to go into it without knowing exactly what's going to come about. And then the Queen of Pentacles is all about being able to meditate on prosperity and meditate on your throne of swords, what it is, what success means to you, and how to be kind of quiet in it. It's not meaning like blasting your success. It's not meaning like, because that kind of waters it down. It's great to be successful. It's great to like use social media and be like, yeah, hell yeah, I'm slaying my ideas and I'm getting everything done and everything's right and in its perfect form. But also Queen of Pentacles is about lifting others up as well, not just yourself, and being able to walk into your success with other people. So, I feel like this was a pretty quick to the point reading, but I wanted to just get one out there. I'm also just really wanting to see who's interested in private readings. I love private readings, and I do them off of Zoom. And if you're interested in a reading, I would love to get to know you. And you can reach out through my email, renatusreadings@gmail.com. And I have a YouTube, I have an Instagram, and I'm about to have a website. And I also work at potiontx.com, and I do massage, limpias, and I do tarot there. So I love all of y'all. Thank you for tuning in, and I look forward to seeing you. Bye!